Hi, I'm attorney Sherri Stinson, your Palm Harbor estate planning attorney. And today I want to talk to you about one of the most important documents in your estate plan. And that is something called a healthcare surrogate, a designation of healthcare surrogate. So what this document does is it names or designates someone to make decisions for you when you cannot give informed consent. And so it gives instruction on things like pain relief. Perhaps it's your intent to return home. Perhaps it's what happens if you've had like a major surgery and something is going on. Without this document, there's a pretty dire consequence because if the hospital or the doctors decide that they don't want to talk to the person who came in with you, they might end up telling them you need to have a guardianship. It's also especially important where we have blended families or perhaps kids who don't get along with one another. And perhaps one child wants one thing to happen and the other child wants something else to happen. I've also had people come into my office who maybe they don't like traditional medicine. They want Chinese medicine. So if you've got an adult child who disagrees with the medical decisions that you're making during your life, you really want to make sure that there's some continuity in the care for you, and naming somebody in that document to be in charge is going to be really crucial. Now, there's one other piece that often goes with the designation of healthcare surrogate, and that's called a living will. Now, what the living will does is it says if you have an end stage condition, if you're terminally ill, or if you're in a coma, and two doctors have said there's no reasonable medical probability that you're coming back from that, that is the pull the plug document. Now, one other piece that works with this, but that an attorney cannot do for you, is something called a DNR, or do not resuscitate order. This is one of the most popular questions that I get in my office, and we encourage you to talk to your primary care doctor about what this document means and when it should be used, because these need to be used in the right circumstance. But if you don't have one and you never do one, that's again where that healthcare surrogate becomes really super important, because that document can authorize whoever you want to make those decisions on your behalf. Maybe they take you out of the hospital, against medical advice because they don't like the medical care that you're giving. Or maybe they just want to refuse to permit a certain kind of treatment. The healthcare surrogate will allow them to do that. So if you have questions after watching this video, I invite you to give my office a call, or you can also visit my website where you can find a free estate planning checklist, and it will give you more information. We look forward to talking to you, and thanks for watching.